this guy, the name on my back, number 8, the Great 8, the Russian machine, Alexander the Great, Alex Ovechkin, has made it and cemented his place in the books for sure in that number 1 spot as the greatest living and or even deceased, I don't care, goal scorer in the history of the NHL. And there is no debate as he yesterday, April 6th, 2025, scores the power play goal. Of course it was on the power play. Not quite from his, as we always know him to, but pretty close to his office. Alexander Ovechkin scores goal number 895, passing Wayne Gretzky as the number 1 goal scorer of all time. He is number 1 in goals. He's number 1 in goals, game-winning goals, overtime goals, power play goals, and of course, everyone knows empty net goals. Alex Ovechkin, he is, without a doubt, the greatest goal scorer in the history of the NHL. And I gotta say, there is no debate. He is the single greatest goal scorer of all time. I don't care. Because we all know the arguments, right? The arguments of Gretzky's time versus Ovechkin's time, or then if you want to bring up anyone else. And if you bring up anyone else, I think you're pretty idiotic. It is between Gretzky and Ovechkin, right? But if you watch Gretzky's days, I don't care if some fucking old guy wants to type in my comment section and say, oh, how you can't speak, you didn't even watch Gretzky, okay? You didn't see freaking the rise of the Roman Empire, but you still get to speak about it, right? I don't care if you were there or not. We can look. I've looked. Trust, I like hockey. Alex Ovechkin. The goal scoring times. You look at the rates of goal scoring. You look at the scores in the past. Look at who he played against. The goaltenders. The quality of defense, the quality of goaltending is dramatically different, right? Dramatically. And it is the type, inflation, right? It's the, goals in hockey are the opposite of inflation. They've deflated, right? Back in the day, it was too many goals to go around. And nowadays, especially the time when Ovechkin was coming around, it was the lowest goal scoring has ever been. We're finally getting back to big, high goal scoring numbers, right? There's a reason why, for most of my growing up, the highest goal scorer, it would be dramatic if one guy got to 50 goals. And that guy usually won the Rocket Richard, which Alex Ovechkin has won the most times ever. And that's usually who did win it as I was growing up, right? And nowadays, we see guys, multiple guys every year get to 50, 55, 60, close to 70 freaking goals. And they're in a group of 5 guys who reached above 50, right? Goal scoring has gone up recently, but it is like the times of Gretzky's day. Gretzky's goaltending against him was nothing like what Alex Ovechkin has to do, right? It's hugely different, and Ovechkin, the way he did it too, he did it with just the force. He did it like a ballistic missile, right? He was an unstoppable just shot in the back of the net. He just forced his way. Him growing the goal, of course, where Alex Ovechkin scores on Wayne Gretzky, the coach, and Austin Matthews in the building in Phoenix, it's insane. It's insanity. Alex Ovechkin, greatest goal scorer of all time. Hands down, not even close. It doesn't matter, right? When it comes to the actual point of hockey, of scoring goals to win games, Ovechkin is the number 1 guy in that spot, right? And that brings me to a bigger question a lot of people don't even bring up his name in, is, of course, the Mount Rushmore of hockey, right? I don't care. A lot of hockey fans are pretty old, right? A lot of hockey fans, we are a very traditionalist sport. A lot of old values are kept around, right? Anyone who brings up a different take is immediately shot down because everyone is raised and everyone of the older, not even older, just anyone who's above the freaking age of 30 believes anything in the past. No one in today's game can come close to what the past had to offer us, right? And it is so annoying. But Alexander Ovechkin, right? Hockey you win by scoring goals, creating goals, shutting down guys, and a good goaltender, right? Good play, and the more of the sport, the physicality, the fighting, the emotion, right? The timeliness, right? Clutch, being athletic, whatever you want to call it. Is Alexander Ovechkin, if Wayne Gretzky is the epitome of speed and skill play, which you could debate McDavid or Crosby are better than him, but whatever. Of his time at least, Wayne Gretzky is what modernized what they actual, like, what the best skilled player in the NHL is. Is Alexander Ovechkin not the point of the sniping, goal scorer, power forward, physicality, just machine who can, like, fuck everyone else up on the ice, whether either it's a hit or if it's a fucking fight, like against Svechnikov and he knocks him out? Is Alexander Ovechkin not, like, the other side of hockey and the epitome of that? I think so. And I don't know what my Mount Rushmore is, but if it is Wayne Gretzky's in there, you have to have Ovechkin. If Gretzky is the greatest all-time point guy, an offensive machine, Ovechkin is the greatest goal scorer of all time. And then you have to have a defenseman, and I think you need to include in there a goaltender, right? You have to include every point of the sport, and Ovechkin to me is someone who can be in there. And then I'm going to skip one of my points here, but that brings up a point. Well, is not Sidney Crosby above him? I don't know. Because if it's Mount Rushmore, and if you want to compare player to player, Ovechkin and Crosby are it's like they're dramatically different from each other. They are not the same kind of player at all. Crosby is much closer to the type of player that McDavid and Gretzky is this skilled, fast-moving, good cut edges, like making plays, big passes. The centerman, too, I might add, right? That is like who is comparable to Sidney Crosby, right? And Sidney Crosby in that realm, if you compare him for like a Mount Rushmore position, I think he's overshadowed. Ovechkin, they're completely different players, and put one of them over the other one, I just don't think is fair, because it's the same type of thing. You cannot compare those two. They are apples to oranges. They play completely different games. If they switched them up, if Ovechkin started becoming the two-way centerman player, he would not be good at it. And if Sidney Crosby was put in the position to be just that winging goal scorer, I mean, he would still probably be good at scoring goals, but like, look at their goals difference, right? It's not the same. And then back up, starting all-time lineup as well, right? Ignore the Mount Rushmore, but if you wanted a starting lineup, right, 3 forwards, 2 defensemen, 1 goaltender, Alex Ovechkin, are you not putting him on that left wing? Left wing of Gretzky, and I don't know who you put on the right wing, but if you are going to put like a winger in there, you have to have the greatest goal scorer. He is that, right? Alex Ovechkin. I have no idea how many, every single time I ever make a point like this, everyone always in the comments is like, well, no, you don't know. Like, goaltending, like Vasilevsky, the greatest of all time, no way. Which I think he's finally getting some more recognition. But, like, Ovechkin, he is the greatest goal scorer of all time. And really, the bigger question, though, is what happens now, right? The Capitals' future and Ovechkin's future. What is going to happen forward now? And forward, they don't play for another 3 days on Thursday. And so between then and now, Alex Ovechkin might just drink himself to death. But that's probably the way he'd want to go. But by the time next game happens, right, the Capitals are in a great position to win the Eastern Conference, great position to win, and probably drag in the Montreal Canadiens into the first-round playoff spot. That is a big win for the Capitals because that would be a great matchup for them. I don't think the Canadiens have a single chance of winning that series, and it would be kind of funny that Montreal, of all places, a very patriotic place, going up against the Washington Capitals in today's climate. Might be kind of fun to see what happens there, but no, the Canadiens would not stand a chance, and the Capitals, I think, have some pretty good odds of making it pretty deep in the playoffs. Not winning the Stanley Cup, but who knows? Maybe with a little bit of magic. They do got a lot of grit. They have goaltending, whether it's whoever's hot between Lindgren and Thompson. Of course, Thompson's gone a little cold, but has been injured. But they do have that guy, Hunter Shepard, in the AHL, who's won, like, the best goaltender award, and the Hershey Bears have won, like, back-to-back AHL titles. So, you never know. Maybe they have a Jordan Binnington, or maybe Thompson's just a shutdown guy. But their defense is solid. Their offense is solid. They've got great depth everywhere. I don't know. Maybe Ovechkin, this is just the year of destiny where nothing else matters. But in all honesty, though, with that goal, that was the single greatest piece of history I think I will ever get to witness. Like, that was, watching that game yesterday, like, and seeing that goal happen, like, there is nothing else I think I will ever see that could top that in my hockey watching history. Like, I just don't think it's possible, right? Like, my stupid stand is, like, falling apart. I don't know what is happening, but was that not, like, the moment? Like, I don't even care who wins the Stanley Cup at that point, right? Like, the record was broken after 31, almost 32 years, right? Who will break it again? Austin Matthews? Maybe. I mean, he gets injured a lot. And with the team he's on, or like wherever he ends up going, like you never know. Like maybe he like does he stay in Toronto? Toronto's not going to be the greatest team. The Capitals have been pretty good throughout his entire career. And Matthews, like, and he's Ovechkin, as we know, is never like he's never been hurt for too long. Matthews, like, he's getting injures a lot, and I just, if he's on competitive teams, like, I just don't know. Like, does Connor Bedard? I don't think so. Like, if you want to start goals, if you want to break the record, you got to start early. And Bedard this season, I don't think next year's going to be any brighter. Like, he's already going to lose like 3 solid seasons, if not 4, maybe 5 seasons to get those 50 goals and start getting those numbers up there. Does Connor McDavid? Maybe, but he's much more of a playmaker, assist guy than making a bunch of goals. But we know he can score 65 goals in a season, but I don't know. Like, that's just not his style of play. Draisaitl, no. Cole Caulfield, I saw someone throw him out there. Definitely not. So, I don't know. I don't know if the current NHL holds who will break Ovechkin's record. I don't know. I have no idea who it could be, but I think the closest guy we got is Austin Matthews, but there's so many question marks. So many. Like, the Capitals were, like, clearly, like, a solid foundational team. Matthews is so, like, in the media, in Toronto. And Toronto is already a shaky landscape. Like, you never know. Like, next year, maybe Marner leaves, Matthew Nye stays, comes out. He's not a big guy that really make a bunch of plays. Matthews needs that Marner assist magic. Like, I don't know. I don't know what happened. So, to me, it doesn't matter, though. Even if someone passes Alex Ovechkin, they'd have to do it in a remarkable way. Because at some point, it'll happen. As long as we don't blow ourselves up, I think within the next 100 years, it'll happen. It has to happen. And it might happen a couple of times. But depending on who we look at, I feel like will really depend on if they are better. And you never know. You never really know what could happen. They could change the complete system and make goalie pads the size of, like, just ankle, from some shin pads, and make it completely useless, and everyone's just scoring 1,000 goals every game. We'll never know. But for now, Alexander Ovechkin, the Great Eight, is the best goal scorer of all time. He's the most dynamic player. Not dynamic. He's the most exciting player. He's my favorite player of all time, like, without a doubt. And Alex Ovechkin, I mean, you're a treasure. You are a treasure to this earth. And the whole ceremony after, too. I know I haven't even talked about that. But the ceremony that they did, Wayne Gretzky's speech, Ovechkin's speech, like, it was all perfect. The NHL did an amazing job. And usually the NHL knows how to ruin every single thing possible. But that was the most perfect way they could have handled that whole situation. And, yeah, great. So, from here on out, I mean, he's got 1 more year. He's just going to be padding those stats. I think after that, he'll probably go back to Russia. I think that's what he's told interviews already, that he'll probably go home after his end of the next season. But he's got the rest of this year to get 2, 3 more, maybe 4 more goals this season. Next year, you got to imagine he stays hot to, like, pad up those stats. But he will be the first player to ever reach 900. He will be, and I think he might end up around 930-something. 936 would be, you know what? Yeah, 936 is where I'm going to say he ends up on the list. And does anyone break it? I don't know. But that is all I got to say. So thank you for watching this. And if you've enjoyed, please subscribe. It'll make me happy. And until next time, too sweet. Have an amazing day. And ta-ta for now.